Hi, it's Laura. This video is on grounded commitment. And what that means is we are going to shift into action now that you have a sense of what your purpose is. So for those of you who might still be figuring out what your purpose is, there is a video which is titled I'm Stuck. And it has some more clues and ideas about how to find your purpose if you've gone through the previous videos and you're still feeling like you're not totally clear. But for those who do have a sense of what your purpose is, congratulations. And let's make that purpose live and breathe in your life. So making change happen is a hard thing. So this video is focused on how to help you start moving in the direction of your purpose. And what I invite you to do is first think about, in the long term, what is your goal? Where do you want to go? In the long term might mean different things for different people. For some people, the long term might be 20 or 30 years out. For other people, it might feel very appropriate to have your long term be 1 year out. So get a sense of how far out do you feel comfortable envisioning your life, and then start breaking that down backwards. So let's say the long term is in 5 years, I envision I'm going to be doing this, and then say, okay, in 4 years I'll be here, 3 years, etc. And we want to break this down into the smallest of changes. There's a phrase which is Kaizen change. And that means an incremental change, like saying if I was 1% better in this thing, I would do this. And what that does is it helps make change possible, because you're not expecting yourself to go out and run a marathon tomorrow. You're just expecting that you're going to go out and maybe take a 10-minute walk. An example of our mascot, whom we haven't talked about in the videos yet, this is Phoebe, who is a porpoise with a purpose. And you can read more about Phoebe on Discovering My Purpose. So Phoebe's vision is that she is an artist. So her long-term vision is that she would like to dedicate her time, full-time, to being an artist. That's her long-term vision. And then, her shorter-term vision is that she wants to paint 2 paintings every month. And then her smaller goals are that she's going to go out in the next week and she's going to buy her brushes and her paints. So that's just an example of how you can, draw the goals back and back so that you are going from the long term to medium term and then to more of a Kaizen or an incremental change. And as you're thinking about these grounded commitments, I also invite you to think about any obstacles that might come up and how you will deal with them. So this isn't about psyching yourself out, it's actually about psyching yourself up, so that if there are likely changes, like with Phoebe being an artist, she's a porpoise, which means that she's probably going to be painting underwater. How is she going to paint underwater? She's going to have to get some special paints, some special canvases. That's one of her obstacles and one of the things she has to think about. So with all of these things, and I'll tell you that personally, I can be like, oh yeah, I'll go through that exercise, and I'll sit there and I'll think about it. I'll be like, okay, I got it. It's not as impactful if you don't write it down. So take a page out of my book and learn that it's really important to write it down, even if that feels a little bit odd. You can type it out on your computer if that's easier, but have it down on paper, on actual paper, or on a Word document where you can print it out and you can see it. Because having that visual cue to continually remind yourself of what your goals are and where you're going is incredibly important. So please, whatever you do after you've done this work, write it down, print it out, and put it someplace where you're going to keep it very much in front and center. So once you're done, we'd love to hear from you on what you came up with. Please do post it. And next up is how you go to authentic action to make these goals actually happen.